growing up, it can be very difficult to figure out what your style is. In fact, I would say most of the time, style is influenced through the appearance of other people, your friends, people you're around on a daily basis. So, actually developing your own unique style, something you feel comfortable in, is really difficult. So, in today's video, this was a suggestion from one of you viewers. I'm going to be reflecting back a little bit. I'm going to be talking about what I would have done or how I should have dressed as a 14-year-old, 15, going into middle school, high school, those ages. It can be a very difficult time, and style, I feel, can make it more difficult. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. The first thing, the biggest thing that I wish I hadn't done was overwore band shirts, right? Logos, right? That kind of stuff. I talk about that, about graphic tees. I'm still not a fan of them. Really don't like them. But in high school, especially, those were like my go-to. So I think at one point I had like 6 or 7 different Slipknot shirts, the band, and then I ended up having like 9 or 10 Iron Maiden shirts that I would wear all the time. Now it's all right to have one or two, especially when you're younger. Maybe you want to wear it and just hope that maybe somebody will start talking to you or connect with you based on it. And I'm sure it does happen. But the thing about wearing them too much is like your personality becomes equated with the band, and that's how people know you. So with Slipknot, I wore every day a different shirt, and I started getting like a lot of people started thinking like I was depressed and like I was violent and I wanted to do all these things because that's what they talk about in the music a lot of times. So to avoid that, I would wear, or I wish I wore, more plain colors, more solid colors, right? Things without logos, things that people wouldn't associate me with, right? And a lot of people, I feel, especially younger people, they have this issue, right? So you wear a band shirt or you wear something with a logo hoping to connect with people, hoping to fit into the crowd, right? It makes sense, it really does. But the thing is, what ends up happening if you overwear them is that people will start associating you with whatever you're wearing, and that's not always a good thing. Like with Slipknot, they're kind of a violent band in their lyrics, so I kind of got associated with that, right? Iron Maiden, they're a little bit, or they're a lot more intelligent, I would say. They write about history and literature and stuff. So they're still my favorite band, I would say. Uh, so it's not, it wasn't as bad, but with Slipknot, I mean, I definitely a few people thought, you know, not true things about me simply because of that. So I would definitely recommend going with plain clothes. You can't go wrong with that. Next thing I really wish I didn't do was allowed others to influence me too much. And I know this is very hard, even for adults. Adults get influenced all the time. Just sometimes with them, it's not as evident. But when you're younger, it is very, very easy to be influenced. And a lot of times, if you don't jump on board, you're ostracized. You're pushed to the side, right? So with me, like I've talked a little bit about my phase when I wore more urban outfits, more of an urban style. And again, I mean, as you can imagine, I wasn't, I didn't fit in with those people, but I thought by doing that, I would. So definitely didn't really think it through, but it happens, right? Because when you're young, you don't really think about that stuff. But definitely what I wouldn't do, or what I wish I didn't do, was conform to that, was to think that that was my ticket in with people, that that was how I was going to make friends, right? Because you never make real friends by faking your personality. You make your genuine, true friends by just being you. And it's extremely difficult. It's tough. It requires work. But don't wear something thinking that by wearing it, you're going to fit in with a certain group of people. It happens with a lot of people when they're younger, in high school especially, but that's definitely not going to be the case. And as I talked about in my video about trying too hard, you might actually seem comical almost. I know I sure as hell did back then when I was wearing all that goofy urban stuff. I mean, thank God there's no picture evidence, right? But yeah, so that's definitely a big thing that I wish I didn't do. What about you though? Did you go through any phases or wear any outfits that you kind of think back on and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to know if I wasn't alone going through that weird urban phase. But remember, if you haven't yet, give this one a thumbs up. Remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I've been posting a lot more videos, so if you want to stay up to date, hit that bell. It would really help me out if you would share my content with anybody else who might benefit. Alright, guys. See you in the next video.